Hey y'all, this is the legendary Sonny G, Sonny with an O, not a U.
And this is your boy Sterling Moody.
And we are Effa Podcast.
Effa Podcast.
And thank you for listening to us. So make sure you tune in to Effa Podcast, a real N-word podcast where we talk about
real N-word stuff.
That's it. So make sure y'all tune in.
Effa Podcast.
Effa Podcast. Hello, I'm Sonny Gillespie, and this is part 2 of our 4-part series on the struggle.
Which struggle we talking about here?
So, people always ask me, what's trap nerd? You know, what is trap nerd? And the best explanation that I usually give is, as, you know, the trap,
right?
I think of it actually as, you know, a trap. Like, not the trap as in the ghetto, but the trap as in your surroundings that is hard to get out of. You know, you're trapped here because
this is your environment.
Yeah, and it's a cycle of psychological programming and everything that keeps us in these traps. And being a nerd was my way out. It was my way of getting past the trap, getting out of the trap, which is basically just using what you have or using the best of your abilities, because that's all a nerd is. A nerd is just somebody who just basically really goes hard with what they've got in front of them at the moment.
So let me help you out just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So when I explain a nerd to anybody, I go, "What are you the most passionate about?" Like if I say Superman cannot beat Batman, Superman cannot beat Iron Man, all right, or can beat Iron Man, or vice versa. How hard are you going to go for that? How much passion do you have? Do you like to do nails? Mm-hmm. Do you know everything about nails from when they first started from the beginning to the end? Every type of nail that's out there. If you know about snacks, you a nerd for snacks. So, like you said, the trap is where you're stuck in. If you're stuck in a suburban area where this is all you got, there's only a Kroger, and you don't have a Walmart, and you can only see what's there, and you get all your information from the back of a cereal box. That's how you nerd out. You know every cereal that's out there in the market right now. You know everything about this one thing. So we're on the same page there.
Absolutely, because it's a lot of things that people don't realize is a nerd thing. Like you said, a nerd is just being really passionate about something. That's all. That is the only required. Like cats be thinking that they cool. You know, the guys who their whole lives they've had J's and they've gotten the special edition J's. They've got the J's that have only come out in a certain market.
What is it? East Bay?
They started off on that's how everybody's J addiction started. Everybody's J addiction started with East Bay. But the dudes who had the shoes in East Bay that were customizable, or the shoes.
If you have an email and you emailing somebody in China, you have a problem. You need to go see therapy. Like that's too
But
much.
those are nerds.
Yeah, that's what you nerd out about. If you get a new phone every month and you know all these specs on these phones, you're a nerd for these phones. It's expensive, but that's what you nerd out about. Because most time nerd things are expensive.
And that's the difference, because there are people who will get a new phone every month, but that's just because one thing's the newest and biggest and brightest. The camera's bigger, or this, that, and the third.
That's the nerddom.
That is still nerdom, but it's kind of poser nerdom.
Yeah.
It's kind of, because it's like if you keep getting a new iPhone just because of this one feature, the real nerds to me are the ones who can tell you everything about when. I know I'm talking to a nerd when somebody goes, yeah, I've got the iPhone 9, and I mean, it's not too much different than the iPhone 8, except
all the
for
specs.
Yeah, like
all the little specs that you wouldn't know.
They're like, yeah, it's got face recognition, and yeah, the camera's gone from a 10 megapixel to 13 megapixels, and the processor speed is now went from Qualcomm to Snapdragon. But other than that, it's pretty much the same phone. I'm like, I know exactly what kind of person I'm talking to right now. That is a nerd.
Yeah, because I had my trap nerd shirt on last night. I was doing my brand, what did we call it yesterday? My marketing, I forgot what you called them. You sent them into the party.
Oh, my brand ambassadors?
Brand ambassadors. Yeah. There we go. I don't know why I can't remember this. Verbiage, right?
Right.
I get yelled about that all the time on my show. I can't remember words.
That's actually, that actually brings up, that's the kind of nerd that I am. I've always been a word nerd.
Right.
So I don't believe in English.
I don't understand what you're saying.
I don't believe in English.
Okay.
I don't. English as a language to me is not a real thing.
So what are we doing right now?
So
y'all punking me?
No, we
fake.
got to the topic really quick. Like that's my nerve. I've always, first off, if I could put my dad on the phone right now, his claim to fame is that he taught me how to read at the age of 2 off of comic books. And I know this to be true because the first comic I read was Secret Wars. It was the one that all the Marvel heroes ended up on a different planet, and they all had to fight the Earth's villains who are all teamed up and all kinds of crap. It's where Spider-Man got the Venom suit. I remember all. So I've always been reading comic books, and as you know, with comic books, the wording in comic books is always super extravagant.
Yes.
Even the titles, it's like the spectacular, the amazing, the extraordinary, and all. So here I am, like 5, 6 years old, saying words like that, and even teachers are looking like,
"We don't." Smart MF doing over here?
You know, why do you talk like a BBC show?
Are you a lawyer?
Right.
Are you a little lawyer?
So
my D.
So I've always had a way with words.
Right.
Just a lot of reading, a lot of talking, because like we talked about on a previous show where I said that you were probably a kid who was always in grown folks' business. I know that because I was that kid.
Yeah.
Except for I was the See, most kids who are just nosy, they get into the room and they listen and they try to act like they're not actually in the conversation. Right. My dumb ass actually thought that I was going to offer my opinion to adults and shit. So I'm in the middle of listening to adults talk about politics. You know, I'm not voting for George Bush. I think I'm going to vote for Clinton. And I'm just going to come out talking about, well, actually, if you look at Clinton's numbers, and they're like, if you don't get your ass in there and watch Teletubbies, what the hell are you doing talking about Clinton? Power Rangers is on. Clinton, get in there.
Wait a minute, you watching Power Rangers and Teletubbies at the same time? Which one are you watching? You can't do
so
that.
That's another.
It's the same thing.
No, that's another nerdum. I've also been a big kid my whole life. That's another nerdum. So like cartoons is my jam.
Right.
Even now.
Right.
Even now. So I was like, let me tell you how much this all connects. The Magic School Bus, right?
Mm-hmm.
When the Magic School Bus first became a PBS show, I was in 5th grade. I ran home the very first day to watch the show because I read the movie. I've been reading
the book.
I've been reading the Magic School Bus book since I was like in 1st grade. So
you a nerd for the Magic School Bus. You a nerd.
First off, how did she not get any permission slips? Miss Frizzle did not get one permission slip signed and always took the kids wherever
Spoiler
the hell
alert, she got fired in the new season. Her sister now in charge.
She didn't get fired. She
got fired. Bro.
No, she didn't get fired. She's now so instead of a teacher, she's now the superintendent of the school.
I guess it's like super fired. It's like, you know,
she got promoted.
We like you so we hate you so much that we don't want to get rid of you, so we're just gonna promote you. That's a super firing.
Which, how do you get promoted? Do you know how many times she put those children's lives in danger?
And didn't care.
Didn't get, like I said, nobody signed a permission slip. Nobody called, not one parent ever on the show. And then all of a sudden, now we're in a volcano.
The boy at home sick, and they're gonna come to his house.
No, the boy gets sick. What do? We shrink the bus and we go inside the sick kid so we can see what your white blood cells are doing when you get sick. Nobody's going to get medical attention, by the way.
Y'all want to go to space? No. All right, we going cool, bet. No.
Who wants to?
What did he say? I should stay home today? I don't mean nothing. Remember one day he stayed home? They came and got him.
Yeah.
They pulled up.
He was the field trip.
She pulled up and she was like, nah, come on. You want to stay home, huh? No, we don't do that. Not around here.
You know what they need? They need a Magic School Bus for adults, so that like Miss Frizzle does like. So
Magic College.
so they go like the elementary episodes they were going into the human body and just seeing how blood. Now they need to like go in after somebody shoots up heroin or something and just follow. just follow.
There's a lot of other things here that are going on. You know
Magic rehab. Magic rehab. That's what Miss Frizzle needs to be, a rehab counselor. And we take a trip through drugs.
I got it. Since we over here nerding out, right? Because this is what I do now, apparently. You know, because y'all nerds keep bringing me back in.
You're the one that has a show with Legos.
Oh man, you know
that is nerdy, sir.
It was available. You know what?
Do you know how much? First off, okay, and then like I've seen your page. I've seen what you do with Legos. Like I'm surprised that you actually haven't just made.
My keys got Legos.
I'm surprised you haven't made an actual tablet out of Legos. Like you just ordered a screen offline and then you see.
I did.
So
back to our nerdum here.
You acting like being a nerd is new.
I guess. So hear me out.
Go ahead.
I gotta get the room ready. Live action Magic School Bus.
Which I'm down for. I'm down for. You got to have the right kid actors though.
Can we have Carrot Top play Miss Frizzle?
I actually don't have a problem with that.
You wouldn't know the difference.
You know what? I was gonna find a way to protest. I don't have
No.
any. I don't have. Except for Carrot Top's old now.
He old and he's solid.
Yeah, Carrot Top does not
He a
look
big man.
like he spent the whole.
Like him and Vanilla Ice.
He spent the
I wanna see them
entire '90s and early 2000s being a comedy punchline, and now he looks like he went to the gym so he could get revenge on everybody who used
They
him.
used to make fun of him, man, like real hard. I didn't know it was that bad.
Carrot Top was
But he's
such
still
a
gonna be Miss Frizzle.
yeah. I mean, right now I can't think of better casting at all for
I don't want to see someone in a red wig. I want to see someone who has authentic red hair who could be Miss Frizzle, because he's still crazy. He's just big.
You know what? Since you said that, I'm
Right.
absolutely sure that if they cast Carrot Top instead of Holly or Holly Bailey
Mm-hmm.
for Ariel, white people wouldn't have a problem with
They
that.
have a problem with
They
it.
would have rather have had Carrot Top as Ariel than Holly Bailey.
Because he's gonna have mermaids aren't even real. So what does it matter what color it is?
No, but they wanted to make sure that the red hair was the most important part.
To be honest with you, their skin would just be clear because
That's
how
another
water
nerd.
works. Or blue.
That's another nerdum. Disney nerdum.
They were all like Ursula.
Like like you've been to Dragon Con, right?
Yep.
There is Disney nerdum.
Yep.
There are people
There's
who,
a nerd for everything.
but like there are people who will really argue with you. Like when I watch Disney animated films,
Right.
I get the gist of the plot, and then I'm really just listening for what songs are the jam and what story. You know what I'm saying?
Who don't have a mama?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Somebody ain't got a mama.
Whose relative is trying to kill them or put a curse on them? You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
who are they gonna? Just the basic
Where's
story.
the black character?
Or
Spot the black. You
or
gotta do that.
because it's not always the black character, it's the stand-in for the black character. Like Sebastian the Crab was the stand-in
Yep.
for the black character.
Mushu, he was black.
Mushu was and have you seen the new Aladdin?
Yeah. So the new Aladdin.
That's basically Will
If you-
Smith was
if-
just
if
Mushu
you
as
would-
the genie.
If you would have called the movie Prince of Persia, Prince of Thieves,
mm-hmm.
and not called Aladdin, I
Uh-huh.
would have enjoyed it because they called it Aladdin and tried to do a shot for shot, and then put a twist. It was like, okay, I didn't have to do that. You can, you don't have to give me my childhood live action. I can go to a play for that.
So we always talk about how I'm scared, I'm racist, or I'm
Who talks about this?
I do.
Oh,
I
okay.
talk about being scared that I'm a racist a lot because when I watched Aladdin, immediately I was disgusted by the amount of Middle Eastern people, which I know is hypocritical. That's how you sign. That's how much I'm used
Which
to
one?
whitewashing.
Hood Aladdin?
No, I'm so used to whitewashing. Like that's what Hollywood whitewashes everything so
Right.
much that even when you get the correct culture in something, you're like, I don't think that's right. Like I
Right.
promise you, because I didn't see any black or white people in Black Panther, I was confused for a good first 15 minutes. I was like, there is there not a butler or
something.
yeah, then the one guy showed up and he had like all of the CIA credentials, and I said, okay, the cop,
The
of
cop.
course.
The cop
If you
has
don't
to-
make the cop the white guy, then the movie's no
And
good.
then the heroes, the black guy. So
You know what? The blackest thing about Black Panther is that his suit turned purple.
right.
Like the suit turning purple to me. Anytime purple is involved with black people, black characters in a movie,
We ain't even gonna get on this, man. Cause how you gonna just tell me that we can just use vibranium for anything? We eat it now. We use it as soap. We just use it as
Oh,
sports
yeah.
equipment. We
Wakandans-
use it for air.
Wakandans had vibranium forever. I bet you there are vibranium condoms in
Right.
in Wakanda. Like, and I bet you like, it's the vibranium condoms are so dope. You can use it after you've already done the deed in the woman, and it'll grab it out.
Best part about Wakanda though is that it was they had all this technology,
Mhm.
but they were still African as hell. Like they still had the authentic shop.
Oh yeah,
They still had to do
the dude with the lip, the plate in the lip. Yeah,
They still did the regular. They still had the robe.
the
Like
blanket. No, what was it?
Blanket.
The energy blankets.
like guys, come on. Like you gotta pick a side here. Like,
No, that's nerd, and that's nerdy as hell because what the
Man.
director did, he took actual African cultures,
Right.
like Igbo, like some of the language they spoke was Igbo, which is native to Nigeria, and
Not that fake shit that Puerto Rico were doing. No.
Oh yeah, no,
He could have that.
with the way strip the powder away. Yeah, no, I don't.
Angela
know.
Bassett ain't even try. She's like, I'm just doing my regular voice.
You know what?
He looks stupid as hell.
Angela Bassett is by far one of the like representatives of blackness. Like I don't think any decision happens in black culture without going through Angela Bassett at some point in time. Like the fact that we now wear skinny jeans, I'm pretty sure she signed off on that.
Signed off on something.
I'm sure that they was like, hey, we're going from 4X tall tees to skinny jeans.
Well,
are you cool with that? And she was like, fine.
She must have missed when they were signing over that the guy named Chadwick was going to be your Black Panther.
Oh.
I'm just saying.
Well, first off, he's played everything, though. He's been Jackie Robinson. He's been Thurgood Marshall. He's been T'Challa, James Brown.
But not just Chad.
At this point, there's now that's...
You could have left that off.
Well, I like it, because first off, Chad Boseman sounds like somebody who's running a pyramid scheme. Chad Boseman is going to run off... Chad
with an E on the end for no reason.
Yeah. Chad Boseman is going to tell you he can turn your 200 into 2,000 and then completely disappear.
All you got to do is give him 200.
Yeah, he can turn your 200 into 2,000.
You have to give him 250 because the processing fee at $50.
Yep.
For no reason. What's the processing fee? You put an enter after I put in all my information?
First off, how does an illegal scam have a processing fee? We are already doing something illegal, and you mean to tell me there is a mandatory processing fee?
So you report to somebody else that's also illegal?
Right.
That processes this for you?
I wonder if there's like a worse business bureau.
Or if there's a nerddom for pyramid schemes. Like someone's like really into like pyramid schemes.
Have you not met a pyramid scheme nerd? A pyramid scheme nerd is the most... They're the ones who almost convince you that the pyramid scheme is actually useful and beneficial to you.
It helps society.
Like everybody else, when you get that regular person who's got a pyramid scheme and they're just like, you might be interested in this. Check it out. See what... No. The pyramid scheme nerd is the one that's like, would you like extra happiness in your life? Do you feel empty and like there's just no joy? Do you wake up still sleepy? And something is eventually going to stick out to you, and you're going to be like,
you're going to keep saying things. Do you have two legs and walk forward? I do that.
When you drive to work, do you find yourself fantasizing about not driving to work? Man. How would you like to be your own employer and employee at the same time?
So forget Effa podcast. We're just going to become pyramid scheme nerds. Because apparently we're going to make money.
Yeah. You just have to sign 3 people up below you.
Yep.
That's it. And then
those. You want to sign up?
So if you sign up for mine, I'll sign up for yours. And then we both have one person. So then we just have to find 2 more, and then we'll start making residual income.
Right.
But there are actual. So I don't know, and they usually stick with the company for a really long time. Like I have a friend who paparazzi jewelry, the $5 nickel-plated allergy-free jewelry. She swears by it. You know what I'm saying? And they give you the freedom to make your own name. So her company name is really catchy, and it sounds like it's her stuff, but it's paparazzi.
We just forgot a big pyramid. Avon. And Mary Kay.
Sir.
That's the same people.
Sir.
It's the same product. They can flip the catalog around. It's the same catalog.
The only difference, Avon was in the hood. Avon was what they convinced black people. They went, hey, you can't afford this high-end stuff, but you can afford Avon. And then the very same stuff was in Mary Kay, and they're like, hey, you're better than black people if you get Mary Kay.
Right. Pyramid schemes. Nerds from your pyramid schemes. If you guys have a nerddom, that's a...
There's
where to go. Start with pyramid schemes. Sign up for mine, then sign up for his.
Even the kids who used to memorize NBA stats.
Oh man,
blew my mind. I never understood how at 10 years old there were kids in my class, in my 4th grade class, who were like, oh yeah, well, Jordan is 53% from the free throw line this year, and Pippen is the number 1 in the nation in assists, and they'd be sitting there talking about the towel boy stats. They know, and the water boy has not dropped a single drop of Gatorade the entire season. You're like, how the hell do you know that?
The most wishy-washy people in the world, sports nerds, because it's all situational.
Yeah.
It's his stats based off of last year, based off of something that somebody else did on a particular day against a really shitty team.
So they just analyze it.
So
That's it.
you telling me that if Tom Brady come in here, he got an ear infection, he gonna still do the same numbers? No, he's not. He got an ear infection.
It's completely analytical.
So
You completely.
But then when he loses, it's gonna be the other team. No, they're gonna say he lost. The other team didn't win.
Do you know? So you know what other nerdom is like that? Video game nerd.
Oh man.
So what? So especially fighting games, right? I finally figured out why button mashers win, because as a fighting game nerd, you have set yourself to a certain way of thinking that the way you move, the way your opponent moves, the way you've structured this whole thing into a winning formula. You know, if I pick this player and they pick this player, I'm gonna do this. These combos.
They always let you pick first.
Yeah, they're not gonna be able to block against this. Blah blah blah. You've got this whole world already in your head.
Mm-hmm. The whole fight's broken down.
The button masher does not know one move. Probably doesn't even play the game. So their awareness of everything is based off of, that was neat.
That was neat. I'm gonna try it again.
Yeah,
how'd I do it?
That was cool. Oh, cool. And so you've got this whole, so he's gonna do that, and I'm gonna do this.
I'm gonna counter with this.
Yeah, you're using logic, and this person is just
That's how most fights are. Most fights are you mad at this person, and you want to go in and whip their ass, but they don't even know that you mad. So you're gonna go in here with all this, all this logic of I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. They don't even know who the hell you are. I didn't even know I even bumped into you, but you know what? I can see everything you about to do, so I'm just punch you.
That's how being in a relationship with me works, cause I'm extremely argumentative, and so my girlfriend now, like, I don't think she even knows how to argue.
You gotta coach them.
I've tried picking so many fights.
Man, you're gonna hate when we have creative differences, man, because I don't argue very well. Like I say what I have to say, and the argument's over.
See, and I am I am a trained arguer. Like, I came to play.
Right.
So if we have a disagreement, I've already set aside months to disagree with you.
You got a spreadsheet?
Yeah. I've got charts and graphs.
So you're an argument nerd.
I am an argument nerd.
Yeah, so you can break down how arguments are played out and everything.
Let me tell you how both of us was wrong before I tell you how you were wronger.
Right.
Like, that's...
You apologize. Because you know how this argument's going to go.
I apologize because I'm going to say something even more hurtful than the original thing that I had to apologize for.
You have
an
arsenal of things to say that
like,
you've been holding on to.
I have to apologize for calling you a dumbass because I'm really about to let you know why you're a dumbass.
Remember that one time she was eating food and got on her shirt. I'm going to call her out for that.
That's
why you can't eat food, dumbass. Damn. That was a good one. Saved it.
Hole in the mouth ass. Yeah. So.
Food nerds.
Foodies. That's what they call them now, foodies, which is a stupid term to me.
Oh, and then the ones who have an allergy to a certain food but still want to tell you about a food. You don't have kids. You can't tell me about my son. Don't do that. You can't even eat this food. It would literally kill you.
That's the natural healing nerds, period. Now.
Right.
Like, that's what really gets me is people go online and they're like, I've researched if you mix lemongrass with wheat germ and two shakes of paprika, you can cure anything. And you're like, what have you cured? Oh, not me. I've never had anything that's needed to be cured, but I've heard.
Right.
Like, ma'am, you can't sell me a remedy for something you haven't tried yourself. People swear by it though. They swear by, like what is it, the alkaline?
Mm-hmm.
If you do a completely alkaline diet, you can reverse AIDS, diabetes.
Because somebody said this, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got my co-host Kenneth. I made him mad because I was like, dinosaurs didn't exist because I didn't see them. Somebody just put some bones together and told me this is what it looked like. But how do you know how it sounds? You could tell me, this is how a dinosaur is supposed to sound or what it's supposed to look like. I didn't see these things.
That's funny to me.
So you can't just tell me it existed. I don't have to believe you.
And how come dinosaurs are real and dragons are fake?
Right.
They seem like they'd be in the same realm of possibility.
Because I have a whole other nerdum for dragons. Because what's the difference?
I'm a dragon nerd too.
What's the difference in? See, me and Evan was doing this yesterday. What's the difference in breathing fire and then they spit fire? You can't breathe it in. They don't breathe it in.
And
then do they have like gasoline inside their body?
Fire takes oxygen. So do dragons not breathe out CO2, which would
right.
smother the flame?
Right.
Do they breathe out oxygen
smoke.
and breathe
it's
in
just smoke
CO2?
Coming out at the same time. It's you can't. And then we were just trying to figure out, like, in most, iterations of dragons, it builds up and then it shoots out. That means that the inside the lining of their mouth has to be coated
Yeah.
to be able to get it. We can nerd about this all day. I mean, you're not going to sit here and tell me that you're going to let this thing shoot fire at you. I mean, when you see fire spitters, they put the stuff in their mouth, then they spit it onto the thing. They're not drinking something and then all of a sudden, conjuring up a fire.
Are we gonna talk about how heavy lizard skin is, but they can fly effortlessly?
Right.
Like lizard skin. First off, there's no pores.
They have 4 legs and a tail.
Yeah.
You dragging that tail all through the city. It's not even getting off the ground.
Got scales.
Oh man, that's ridiculous.
Dragon
nerdom.
But there's so the topic of it, the part 2 of this being the struggle is that's how most nerds become nerds, is because we get a passion for something,
right.
And then all of a sudden it's just all we can do at that.
It just consumes you.
So I've always been one game system behind my entire life.
Right.
I believe my first game system, mind you, I was born in 1984. I was 5 years old when I got my first game system. It was an Atari 2600. The Atari 2600 was already obsolete by the time I got it.
Even the outlet.
Everybody was on Nintendos by that. Everybody had Super Nintendo, or not Super Nintendo. Everybody had Super Mario Brother and Duck Hunt, and what was the Olympic game? Track and Field. Everybody had those 3 games on Nintendo by the time I got my first Atari.
Right.
So, and by the way, my dad found game systems that I don't even think people his age remember. So there was also a game system called a ColecoVision.
This one's called Stick and Rock. How you play it? Well, you get stick and you get rock.
Listen, while you playing, there were game systems like the Pong. The original Pong was just the joystick.
Stick and rock.
It was the stick, and you put in the things in the TV outlet. And then people don't remember back in the day, you used to have to hook a whole nother box to your TV. It had a switch that said, one said TV and one said antenna. So you could watch TV as long as it was on TV, or you could play the game as long as it was on antenna. But I've always
the TVs you had to hit on the side. Like, you can't hit a plasma like that no more.
Yeah, no.
Flat screen LCD 4K. I don't know. Something like $10,000. I get that TV.
You can't even fix those anymore. That's like at least tube TVs. You used to be able to take them to some place. You break a flat screen now, they're just gonna look at you and go, "Bruh, just get another one."
There's some.
Do you have insurance? Did you get insurance for your?
It's funny because it's like that was a technology nerds, man. They are within themselves, like they are just those guys are almost like gods, because they fix some things like we're going to fix a hard drive. I'm like, let's just get a new one. He's like, no, somebody to fix it. Someone to fix this thing? I thought when it's broken, it's broken. That's it.
I had a friend coming up. I used to think I was a fairly intelligent young man, and I thought that I was particularly gadgety and stuff like that. No, he used to take apart clocks, VCRs, toys, all kinds of stuff, and you'd be like, okay, well, he just destroyed all of this crap. Like, and then all of a sudden he'd come to school and it'd be like, it's a 3D viewfinder with strobe lighting effects. And you're like, wait, what? Did you really just take apart a Teddy Ruxpin and make this?
When do you have time to do this? Like,
who taught you this?
Who taught you this stuff? Whenever I was deployed, like they could take apart a PS1 and make bombs out of it. I'm like, when do y'all have time to do this? Then you find out that it's online. I'm like, who the hell's putting this stuff online? And why are they not selling it? They patent here.
Right.
To the Sony. It's also a phone and a bomb.
You know what? Everybody should. If the internet is any indication, everybody should be a nerd.
Right. Because
you can look up even the people who just like reality TV. They're reality TV nerds. If you know everything happening in Nene Leak's life, you are a reality.
Follow
TV.
her on Instagram.
Yeah.
All this stuff.
You go to her charity events.
You're a nerd.
You're a nerd.
You're a whole nerd.
Well,
the struggle, right?
The struggle. This has been Effa Podcast once again.
For the next one, because you need
the audio dap.
The audio daps.
I was supposed to change shirts. I was supposed to change shirts for the audio dap. Because
we ain't got time for those.
We do not. We do not have time. So the next round of episodes, I'm just gonna have to really get twice the audio dap in for people.
Extra audio daps.
Really, and you know what's crazy? Like, so really, anybody who watches like the video of this, it's gonna be like one long day because it's supposed to be, one episode airs one day,
This
and the
guy's
next
an
episode
idiot.
he has on the same clothes for 4 episodes. Is he just not change clothes? Like, but this is Effa Podcast. I am the legendary Sonny G, Sonny with an O, not a U. I'm not a yogurt tester.
I don't even understand what that means. Rod, from Talking Brick, also Trap Nerd News field reporter.
Yeah.
I guess that's another thing now.
So you can find me on all social media, Trap Nerd Sonny, Trap Nerd ENT. Y'all be cool like how y'all be cool. Peace. This is the legendary Sonny G, and thank you for tuning in to Effa Podcast. You can also go ahead and follow us at Trap Nerd ENT on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You can also go to our Patreon if you enjoy what we do and make a donation, patreon.com/TrapNerdENT, and be on the lookout for future events. Sign up for our email list at trapnerdent@gmail.com. Again, thank you for listening. Y'all be cool like how y'all be cool.